video on this is my Bladeshow haul from Bladeshow 2026. It's really cool. Want to see what I got? Stay tuned. Alright, so Bladeshow. One of the first booths I stopped at was Knives by Nuge, and picked up this little fixed blade. It's a little wicket with custom scales from I'm going to say the name so bad. Joe Magnification. I'm just going to stop right there. I can't say his name. But he does these awesome scales. I don't even know how he does them, but they're so beautiful. And like I said, this really is a positive lock in here. This little wicket comes with a little leather neck lanyard. The other thing I got from Nuge was, I've been eyeballing this cub for a little bit. It's a Knife by Nuge cub, the Scandy grind. Yeah, I think this is 3V. Sharpened spine, Badger Claw Outfitters, discreet carry concepts clip, and it is a performer. Like, it feels so good in hand. I've been wanting these for a little bit. So this is one of the first booths I stopped at. Really enjoyed meeting him and everybody in his booth. I think it was his wife. She was super nice. Knives by Nuge. If you don't have one, check one out, because wicket is awful hard to beat. Up next, I got an LT Wright. This is one I've been eyeballing. I'm into bushcraft, and I've been looking at one of these for a while. This is the Bushcrafter 01 in Scandy. I don't even know if it'll stand up here. Yeah, it will. I can't tell you the heft on this knife, though. Well, actually I can. It's pretty decently. There's a lot of knife here. Just the knife alone is almost 8 ounces. So 7.89. And it feels like you want to process some wood. You want to use a ferro rod on the back. And I've seen these around, and I've wanted one for a while. And they had some really cool scale options, but I like the subdued, like, green with the orange liners and the copper pins and the ferrule. I just like it. And one of the things that I always, and a lot of fixed blades do this, but they carry the thickness all the way up to the tip, and that makes for an incredibly strong knife. JRE leather holster. I don't have a ferro rod for it yet, but I'm going to try and get something that matches. So that's my LT Wright pickup. Kind of the last one of the fixed blades for me is Straight Line. So Straight Line, I was walking by their booth, and I was honestly just kind of fell in love with this little knife that they had. And they had a little fixie, and it was pretty cool. So this is the Score. Just a little Warncliffe, good amount of jimping, but I can't tell you how good these scales feel. The green micarta, I mean, it's not a big knife. There is a lanyard hole. It's buried and kind of recessed. Nice finger choil, keeps you from sliding up, and this jimping does a really good job. This is going to be a great. And one of the reasons I fell in love with it was this sheath that has the magnet. You can put it here, you can put it there. But what it also does is it kind of holds the blade in place. It ain't coming out. It's pretty decent. Made in Italy. If you don't know, straight lines kind of across the pond. So they do some good stuff. I had to get this knife because I just fell in love with it pretty much on sight. That kind of wraps up the little fixed blades that I bought. Shouldn't say little. That wraps up all the fixies that I ended up with. I did stop by the Gondak EDC booth, and I saw this and was like, yep, I need to get that. I'm really impressed with the backing on this. I've already carried this. I like it. Kind of like the I'm into titanium, as I know a lot of people are, but just a real quality hank. My wife got like an Easter basket weave one that was really kind of fun, and she keeps it in her purse to wipe down her sunglasses and stuff. Kind of next up on the just kind of accessories. I ended up with this was copper shed, and I smoked cigars, and they had this little cigar ashtray there, and this little pocket jank that I really just kind of, it's like, yeah, I think I need that. I already did put a lanyard on it. I had a copper lanyard from a copper bead from Tech Accessories, and I put that on there because it matched really well. And it's got the bottle cap lifter, and I guess if you really wanted to, you could bust somebody in the face with that, but not condoning that. I don't think you should, but you know, when you get threatened or things get rough, you can do what you need to, right? They also gave me this little Bladeshow 2026 little 3D printed thing, which I kind of thought was kind of cool. So that was from Copper Shed. I also stopped by the Nice Guy Machine Co. booth and just got to talk to Archie. That was really cool. I have the big one of this, so I have the large sleeper, and this is the small sleeper. So like I said, this was the only one he brought to the show. So I've been looking at this one for a while. Kind of glad that he had it there. I was able to pick it up. I did get a bead, and I'm not sure where I got a smoked Ultim bead as well. Not really sure where it's at. I'm sure it's around here, but kind of already started putting stuff away. So I'm gonna go into next is I kind of have a prepping and a bushcrafting background, and stopped by the Exotac booth, and of course had to say hi. They had some great show deals. What I liked is the actual lighter does match the glow in the dark lighter sleeve. And then I picked up the Nano Strike XL. It's kind of an oxymoron, but I like it. I haven't opened these up yet. They're pretty solid. Exotac makes really good gear. He had a bunch of stuff that they were filling all the stuff with. So Exotac crew they were awesome to talk to. Had a lot of fun talking to those guys. Great booth. One of the things I picked up at the Bladeshow early on was CWF flashlight. This is their what is this? The Mini Turbo. I liked the distressed copper and the OD green. It's kind of simple. It has a very low, like I think it's 6 lumens, pretty low. And then the other, when it's on high, it's I think it's 650. It's a lot, and just super quality. CWF stands for Charles Wiggins, the CW part of it, and I actually got to Charles Wiggins flashlights. Excuse me. Got to talk to him for probably more time than I wanted, because I tried to do a Zell with him, and for whatever reason, reception was bad in the actual Blade show, so didn't really get to do that. So ended up having to get creative. We got him his money, and he was super patient. Never even blinked an eye. Super happy with this light. I've carried it. It carries well. The clip is on point. It's a little tight. It'll probably break in a little bit, but man, this is just so nice. I really like this. This was one of my favorite pickups at the whole Blade show that isn't a Blade. This next one I got, it was a collab with Pete's Pirate Life and Civivi. So they had some of these there. This is one of the, so Pete's Pirate Life put this up on, I think it was a couple weeks ago, and they sold out in minutes. It was so fast. And this is their collab. And I did pull it out, and it's nice. It's drop shutty. I like the distressed look. Big fan of Peter McKinnon. He does some great stuff. His photography is next level. Love the stuff he's doing, but the presentation in this box is pretty cool. They gave out coasters if you bought a knife, and I'm deciding if I'm going to open that or not. But it comes with a coin. The coin it's pretty legit. It says Pete's Pirate Life on the back. Like I said, just a super. This is the kind of stuff I kind of like. I really do like this. It comes with a little cleaning cloth, and you know the Civivi sticker, and then the Pete's Pirate Life sticker as well. So I can't tell you how excited I was to pick this up, because I kind of wasn't spending any money before Bladeshow, and this popped up like a couple weeks beforehand, and I didn't want to let this go, but I had also I knew how much I was going to spend at Bladeshow, so when it came up, I was a little remiss, and then when I saw it there, I was so happy that it was still there. So I was able to pick up one of these, and it wasn't crazy expensive. I think it was around $100, so that was cool. One of the first booths we also visited was Vero, and so the reason we visited them is I had won this clip for the Photon on Whatnot. And so I was going to get a Photon, and I can tell you this flashlight's like so nice. The two flashlights that I got are really stellar. I don't have a bad thing to say about either of them. And of course they loaded us up on some swag. Was able to also, I've been looking at these the Vortex, and I've wanted to get one of these for a little bit as well. So getting one of those was cool. And I've kind of noticed, like, Vero does some really cool stuff that you don't see kind of right off the bat. They gave a little swag tag, and then the little bag was cool. And I was looking at this, and what's cool about this bead, it's a lanyard bead, and paracord will go through it. Well, what it also does is it holds a 1/4-inch bit, if I can get it in. So let's find me a little bit here. Needs to be wallered out, but I don't know. And I like stuff like that, where it pulls two duties, And kind of did like the this sticker was. This is literally my favorite sticker of the whole show. Might not talk much, but my pocket game is strong. EDC is cheaper than therapy. And, Vero loads you up on some stuff. And my wife actually got a really nice Vero Myron fixed blade. But also what I'm talking about is, so I was looking at this, and so the photon, so the light comes in here. It comes all wrapped up in a Vero cleaning cloth, and the battery's out of it. And this is all cool, but I got to looking at it, and I was like, they are kind of smart, because you now have a tray to set your light. You can put other stuff in there, and I just kind of like that. I think that's it's also cool. I mean, I know they have a 3D printer, and that's awesome. And it just nests in here, it just kind of sits there. But yeah, so you don't have the thing saying the Vero, photon, Vero engineering, but you also have something like an EDC dump tray, and you can put, whatever you want. You can put your stuff in there, kind of let it hang out. But I did think that was really cool. And I think Vero was always kind of pushing the edge on that kind of stuff. So I'm going to start going into the knives that I got there. We stopped by the Kershaw booth. They had a Bladeshow exclusive, so I picked this up. It was a really good price. It was a Bel Air Magna Cut, and really cool scales. I like the kind of Eddie Van Halen. Honestly, it's America, right? You got red, white, and blue, and then you got the stars on the blade. Typical Kershaw Bel Air, and this is like the first time I've even really pulled it out and looked at it. It's Kershaw makes a fine blade, and super happy that they had this on show. My wife is a huge, she likes the Kershaw leaks because she can operate them with her nails. She doesn't have to do anything that's spidey flicky or thumb holes or anything like that. And so she likes the Kershaw, so we made sure to stop there. And kind of just up from Kershaw is we stopped in and saw TRM. They spent some time talking with them. Great people. Loved chatting with them. Super engaged. Knife maker. Let me tell you, this thing fires. You got to have a good hold on it because it will jump out of your hand. This TRM, this is the Pit Bull. They had it in blue or brown micarta, and I liked the brown micarta a little bit better. I might do a scale swap of this at some point, but man, this thing just does not disappoint. There's no question did that come out, you know. You can pull this out one-handed, you know, and then press the button, fold it back up. You can do that on your leg, you know, if you're sitting under a car or trying to cut something loose or got something else in your other hand. TRM, man, I cannot say enough about how good TRM is. They hell of a salesman. I was just gonna say they rocked it. So super happy with that pit bull. I've been looking at the pit bull for a while. Another one that I was kind of wasn't sure if I was going to end up with one because I wasn't sure how fast they were going to sell, but stopped into the baller room and picked up a in-one Cornerstone. This was one of the first runs, and this knife is just, it's got the acoustics are amazing. It's drop shutty. I'm so glad I picked one up. Pocket clip works. It's good. You can. So the first time I picked this up, if you ever handle one of these, I tried to shut it. Now you can see I'm trying to push this with one side, not engaging the other. This pinch lock, you literally have to do both sides all the way down. Not all the way down. I should say both sides depressed enough to release the detents, because the detents kick on each side. So I'm not sure how he makes it so you can still flick this knife open, but it doesn't take a whole lot. Front flipper, that's my method of deployment that I like the best. It just flies out. And, you know, it's got a decent handle. I like that this isn't full the way back because my pinky comes up against it. And then when you want to choke up, you can. You can get in there and do some. This front jimping past the deployment window is, I love it. I think it's all awesome. This was one of my favorite pickups, and when I saw that he had some other new knives there, and they are awesome. And I don't want to, but this is what I was going for. This is the one because I missed it when it dropped and it sold out. And so when the opportunity came to pick this up, I absolutely jumped on it. And such a great family, such a good story, you know, had an excellent time talking to them. It's a family run business. I think every person has their own place and spot, if you will. So that was that. Then kind of over by them, picked up a, I had to write the name down. It's Astronomy, Fair Monster. Man, they had some bangers. Like, Fair Monster brought their A game to this show. They really did. And let me show you this. I picked this knife up, and as soon as I flicked it, I knew I had to have it. It has such a good feel. This Fair Monster is incredible. Now, they had a lot of them with some exotic handles, like uh, uh, the different Timascus clips and the time, and this is, it still has a collar, but they had one with a Timascus clip, and I believe the backspacer was Timascus, and it was a little bit more money, but I wanted this one because of the black. I think I'm going to try and do a gold ano on this, and I think it'll just be awesome. I wasn't sure how this was going to do with this like elongated thumb stud, but man, it just feels right. In this little divot in the side of the scales really makes this, you have a couple of grips that just feel so good. Yeah, I was handling this knife and I was like, yep, you're gonna need to take my money because this thing is awesome. It did really well. Like, I don't know if you guys, I'm gonna put this down and I'll let this out. The closest thing I can say it is to is like the jugger. Here's a jugger sitting right next to it. And if you like the jugger and you like the way it comes out, it's got a very similar feel. Just the knife's got belly for how thin it is. Like I said, there was nothing about this I didn't like. I like it in hand. It feels good. The action's great. It was affordable. Super, super excited. Yeah, the like I said, it's the Astrom. I think it's Astrom. That's what I'm going with. We're gonna call it the Astrom. But Fair Monster doesn't disappoint. And they were some of the nicest people at Bladeshow. So gracious, so happy, just having a great time. Just what we're all doing at Bladeshow, right? Just having a great time. And plus, they had a couple of celebrities working for them at this show. EDC with DVD was over there slinging blades, and along with his with Mrs. Deadly, and let me tell you, what a duo. They were constantly busy. You almost had to schedule time to talk to them. They were so good, and it was great to meet them and hang out with them. Had an awesome time with both of those guys. The only thing I'm remiss about is we didn't take any pictures, and we should have. So on the next here, they were giving out little first aid kits. It's kind of cute, but I did end up picking up a mini Dixon, and I didn't get the crazy frag scales or anything like that. I really liked the feel of this, kind of just the all titanium one, the stone washed. It was what spoke to me, so I ended up getting it. It says Big Dixon Energy, but it's the Little Dixon, so it's all good though. He rushed to get these out for Bladeshow, and I was so happy to end up with one of these. This was definitely a highlight of the show, and sitting there talking to it, you know, the whole family's behind the booth. I think I bought this from his brother. He had a Dixon that he's been carrying around for, I think he said 6 years, so probably a prototype, and you know, just here, carry this, see what you think. But man, I loved and just this blade shape. You know, it needs to be broken in. This is probably the longest I've played with it, but I just love McNeese knives. They are they set the bar on a lot of things, and super happy with getting one of these and not having to wait. The I had to crack this open to look at it because I was like, what do they have in this little? So it's just your basic little first aid kit, but it was it was like one of the little things they give you, you know, if you bought a knife, and I don't know, I kind of like that, you know, service with the sale, you know, and they had a thing where they would. I didn't realize this until I read the thing afterwards. I thought it was after Bladeshow, but they had a thing if you took a picture and then, you know, did all the requirements, you were entered in to win more knives. And like I said, I I read it wrong, and so I didn't get a chance to enter that. Another one that I really wanted to pick up was, and they've been out for a while. I'm a big fan of the Heretic. I have a green cell-shaded Medusa that I really just don't. I can't bring myself to carry with the green cell shading, and I wanted to get a Heretic that I could carry that I wouldn't worry about, like, not beating up. Beating up's the wrong word, but that I wouldn't mind actually pocket carrying. And I felt this one, and I can tell you, I love the way this feels. It has a great flipper, push top button lock, or I don't even know. I think it's a plunge lock. Yep. But just so good. So I was really excited to get this one in hand. The Heretic booth was crazy all weekend, so I had to wait in line for a little bit to get that one. So many people, but yeah, I made a little stand for my little Heretic, you know. Another one of the ones that I picked up and I was really looking forward to is the Exceeds Design Tyrant. I've been eyeballing these, looking for them, looking at them. I'll give you a little cheat sheet, if you will. But the reason I pulled the trigger on this one is at Bladeshow, they actually had the M390 blade. So that kind of made it worth it to me. You know, I'm not going to take it out and change it because I haven't practiced this at all. But you can do that. I'm probably going to run this most of the time, but having the ability to do a utility blade is kind of cool. Then if you bought a blade at Bladeshow, they give you this cool little fork. So you always have a fork if you want. Really nice people. They were super busy and they were doing a lot of interviews while I was there. So the fact that they took time to help me was kind of cool. I was just seeing if you could grip it and flip it off of that. Much easier back there. But pretty excited to get one of these. When I saw how fast the M390 blades went away, I think I'm gonna have to be on my toes when they drop any of the other blade shapes, and I might start going after like the drop points and the, but like I said, the reason I pulled the trigger on that one was they had it there. And I'm sure everybody knew Blade HQ was dropping the Spyderco PM2 Tonto, and I know I'm the weird one. Everybody wanted the DLC. That's not the one I wanted. I got the one I wanted, and this was a Friday pickup. So super excited to pick this up. Stood in line. It's M4. It's one of my jams as far as blade steels. I know a lot of people don't like it if there's high humidity and stuff like that, like there was in Atlanta. I could see your trepidation on it. You know, you might have to coat it, but I live in Vegas and there's no humidity in sight. So everybody has either loved the PM2 or you hate it, but it's pretty polarizing. But I think more people love it than hate it, because the ergos on these Spydercos are just like the thumb ramp. There's something to be said about the PM2 ergos. I wanted to get this knife. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to probably do the scales and clip. I'm probably going to put a little spacer back here from OCD with EDC. Just hot rod it. And that's one of the things I also like about Spydercos is you can hot rod them. You can kind of make it your own. So if you purchased, here we go. Helps if you purchased a knife. It also came with that little hat. It kind of had some stickers, you know, just Blade HQ, Blade HQ stuff. So pretty excited to get the PM2 Tonto in M4. They were selling, you know, at a pretty good rate. So I don't know how long they lasted, but I got some black DLCs too for some friends. So one of the other ones that I got was Tack Knives was there, and they had an excellent booth. And I had missed this Sunspear when it came out, and this is a phenomenal price, and it was even better at Bladeshow. He had two of these, so I picked one of these up right away. So drop shutty, so I'm not the best front flipper. This thing, I like it because this is a knife that I'll actually use and work and be able to carry and not worry about, you know, it's not $500 and I do like carrying those knives too, but there's something about a budget knife that just works so good. So I was super excited to pick up that. While there, they had the Sharpie that's, you know, force multiplier. So I picked up one of those as well. And then this is the knife that absolutely floored me. So this is the Thermal Tactical. Now, from what I understand, I don't know anything about thermal. talking to the people and the gentleman that was there. It sounds like they are a Puiclo budget brand. I've tried to go to the website. I've tried to look things up, but this knife has been in my pocket almost exclusively since. It's kind of got a weird blade shape. It's good materials. I'm going to try and see if I can get the acoustics on here. It is just rocking. And if you see when you flip it open, the way it rolls, this piece butts up against this, and it almost becomes like a fixed blade, because it's like all the way to the back. I know it's not a true fixed blade, obviously, but man, I can't imagine it being a stronger. I know Dimco's and with a shark lock and all those, but this thing is crazy. And it might be that lock is not as strong, but I'm telling you, if you were poking this, it's like a fixed blade. The lock mechanism is not like horizontal, it's more vertical. And so when you flip it open, you just pull it up and it drops. This thing is so drop shutty. The clip works. It's nice. It's got some tension. Like I said, I absolutely fell in love with this knife. There was a lot of great knives there, and $200 for this knife is, I want to know what wizardry they're using, because this knife has so much more value than that. It like I said, I can't stop just carrying it, rolling on it. It feels good. It's M390. I like the colors, like the OD green and the bronze. It's understated, it's just it's not everywhere. And like I said, Puiclo, it's their budget brand. They were in the same booth, but I was just sitting there for hours just flipping this, and it is such a cool knife. So this is probably the one that shocked me the most, because that made its debut at this blade show, and they had a ton of them. I'm sure you guys are going to start seeing all the reviews, but I don't know how they are doing this wizardry, because this knife should cost more than $200, and I would pay more than $200. But the fact that it was $200 excites me even more, because that means it's more available. It's going to get in more people's hands. Don't sleep on this. This is a knife that is so understated, and so I'm so excited with this knife. And I was going to wrap it up with I got this was a score from The Unprofessional Dad. Got to meet him. Chris is a wonderful guy. Got to spend some time, and he's just one of those cool guys. Like, I walked by the Bladeshow guys, and they were flipping their knives and dropping their knives everywhere, and it was cool, and I'm not against that. But Chris is over there talking to them, finding out what they like, and I was like, man, he's just a golden soul, great guy. Give him a like, go watch his channel. But this was one for doing a pocket check there. He was handing out these Bastion, and I got the titanium one. One of the other guys I ran into, who has also got a huge presence on YouTube, was Dragoon, and he was doing some pocket check stuff, and he was handing out these 50 ways Hanks, and at first it was kind of, you didn't know what color you're going to get, and I was talking to somebody else, and I kind of misunderstood at first. But the way that it works is there was different colors in the stitching. And so getting the Atlanta 2026 Bladeshow Hank was way cool. But what kind of alerted me to this was something cool is I kind of felt something in here. I was like, what is that? And so in these, if you turn it over, back is pretty awesome too. In these 50 ways, it's called a pocket Hank. Pocket Hank, the 50 ways. And so you can store stuff in this Hank. You know, you might put your sunglasses. You can put, it goes all the way to the end. So it's kind of a cool little, you know, put something that you can fold up if you don't want to lose. I just thought it was way cool. I haven't seen that yet on a Hank, and like I said, I thought it was really cool. So those were kind of my 2 scores on for pocket checks and doing that kind of stuff. So one of the other knives that we got, or I got, some QSP. Had a cool bag. Kind of, I don't know what I'm going to do with this bag, but got a couple of QSP. Ended up having this and some stickers and I think a little penguin. Which was cool. I'm not sure where that's run off to. I don't know which one it is. Oh, okay. I picked this bad boy up and I was like, yep. My card has such a good feel. This is such a understated knife. Feels good. Actions, drop shutty. Really like this knife. Like I said, the burlap micarta just was speaking to me, so I had to get it. I'm into budget knives, and this was one of the good ones. Another one that we got there at the QSP booth was they had 10 of these knives made up with the Atlanta skyline. It says Atlanta, and it says 5 of 10. So they made 10 of these, and I just thought it was cool because it's my first Bladeshow, and I don't know. Like I said, it'll probably not be a knife that I use a whole bunch, but still liked it. Kind of a commemorative piece there, and I'm definitely going to use that one. That one's kind of my jam here. Also, not really even sure which model that is. Might be the Penguin. So one of the last sets of knife. This is the last knife. Went to the ProTech booth, and they had this ProTech Chavez Lab, and I have a thing for copper and like for bronze, and this thing was next level. I was eyeballing it. There was another guy that was looking at it, and he couldn't make his mind up. He was looking at getting something else as well. He decided against it, so I jumped on this almost immediately. This is number 20 of 65. I don't know if you can see that. It's a Redemption. Just nothing I don't like about this. And the color is just next level. I love it. I do like the this style of Chavez clip without the Hellboy hardware showing. So yeah, this one was a kind of a special purchase. I like the coloring. I forget, what did they call it? They called it Copper Rose PVD. So yeah, there you go. That's the knife right there. So, if you haven't been to Bladeshow, you really should try and make it, especially if you're into knives and EDC. It is a great time. I got to meet so many wonderful people, like Aries EDC, Clayton and Sister Stables from Burning Stables Forge, Donnie from Laser Ghost Knives, Trouble Bunny, and Sean, EDC with DVD, and Mrs. Deadly. Help with Gadgets, Fred the Lug, Southern Cali EDC, Matt, Chris, the Unpro Dad, Man, Sam and Chris from Wyvern Kodiak, Mo Patty, Dragoon, Dan Kinman. You know, I got to shake hands with DCA. I wanted to check and see his hand size against mine. And then I actually got to see some of my favorite knife designers, like Les George. Sat there and talked to him for about a half hour. It's a great time. So if you don't know if you want to go to Bladeshow, you should. Trust me on this. You'll love it.